All right, good afternoon, traders. It's 4 p.m. It's closing time. It's Friday. It's September 1st, 2023. It's 4 p.m. My name is John. I moderate the BYOB trading room. Let's do the market wrap up and let's see what we got here. All right, so here's SPY putting in a lower low and a higher high. So SPY spiking that quadrant 4 up here on SPY. Still looking very bullish. No pullback to really report on SPY. Let's go look at QQQ. QQQ putting in a lower low and a higher high, closing kind of inside yesterday's body. Again, not looking too bad. Still looking bullish on QQQ. All right, let's look at FNGU. Now, this is the one that moves all the markets. FNGU putting in a lower low and a higher high, just like the others. Trading, closing inside yesterday's candle, the body of yesterday's candle. So FNGU still not giving up the ground. So good job for FNGU. Let's look at the quadrant lines. And you can see FNGU was back up into the midpoint once more again today. And kind of failed to close candles up there. All right, QQQ. All right, let's put the quadrant lines on there. Here's the high. Here's the pullback. Kind of failed to close candles in the quadrant 4. Same with SPY. Failed to close candles up here. But let me just say, leaning on this area means still bullish at this time. All right, so now let's go look at IWM. So here's IWM, and we'll put the quad lines in there. Actually, we got some right here, and we'll just drag them out. So IWM closing over the midpoint. Nice work for IWM. Notice IWM puts in the higher low and the higher high, challenging resistance, getting kind of pushed back from it. Would have been nice to stab it nice and deep and then kind of rest on top. But there's IWM, still bullish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row bullish, all making higher highs and higher lows. So great job for IWM. The diamonds. Diamonds having an inside day with a higher low and a lower high, closing inside yesterday's red candle. Kind of showing the rollover here. Could be, and let's put in a possible trend line. Well, we got one that goes out there, and then we've got one that possibly runs through here. And then the last one runs right through there. So we'll see what's going to happen here with the diamonds. But notice the diamonds have made a higher low than over here. So pressure's on the bulls to produce that higher high. So there's the diamonds. Diamond Dow. So now let's go look at, let's look at our indicators. T2123. For a brief moment this morning, we were up in the overbought zone. And then we kind of just shuffled right through the buy zone before making any sort of a pivot. Then we made a lower high and a lower low. And then we kind of turned it around after, well, it looks like probably about 1:30, about 1 o'clock, we turned it around, started making higher highs and higher lows. T2122. T2123 started out nice and green, then came back to red and back to green. So all in all, nice sandwich day. Green, red, green. Solid green throughout the rest of the day. Solid green to start the day. So not too bad on the T2123. Look at the 3-bar. 3 bars turned green. So now we got 2 more days. So there's three candles here with green trend indicators and 3 candles here with green trend indicators and space in between them. So we could be moving up. I don't know whether we will or won't. We'll see what happens. Let's just go look at, you know what I got to do? I got to get up the dollar. I got to get the dollar up so you can see this. because this is important. And we'll find it real quick here. While we're waiting for that to juice up, let's go look at SMH. SMH daily chart producing the higher low and the higher high. SMH in a big bull flag, kind of a sloppy bull flag, but nonetheless, it's a bull flag and it's working out quite well. SMH, technology and semiconductors are what's on fire right now. So let's look at IYT, see what the transports did today. Ooh, not too good. Let's go down inside because sometimes this does not really reflect what really happened. All right, so here we are on the first. See, I knew that was I kind of thought that was a bogus candle. So let's look at the day. All right, so we put in a lower high and a lower low. So kind of rolling over here on the IYT, back to the daily chart. And you can see we were probably right through here, closed there. Back at the T line here on IYT, putting in a lower high. Not a good sign. Need to turn that around on IYT. And if you look at the highs and lows, still got a ways to go to get to the midpoint, but kind of rolling over here under the upper third. And I like to say when it's in the upper third, it's still bullish. So it's not still bullish at this time. It's kind of falling out there. All right, now let's go look at XLF. Here's our financials. Ooh, not too bad on financials. Higher low, higher high. Don't like the tail, but nonetheless, you got higher low, higher high. Still moving up nicely. Getting a little bit parabolic there, but we'll take it right up into minor resistance. Minor resistance is these tails that stick down. So we'll see if they can move back up through there. There's the midpoint. XLF bouncing off the midpoint back into minor resistance. We'll see if they can grind their way through this minor resistance into major resistance up overhead. All right, so let's take a look at UNG. Here's nat gas. I picked up some more nat gas. Actually, I sold some and picked some more up down here. So here's nat gas. Moving on up right here. Still not quite able to make a higher high, but it did make a higher low. So not too bad on natural gas. Trying to move up through. Notice it's over the midpoint in this bear flag. So here we got price action closing up over the midpoint. That's bullish. We'll drag this out here, and you can see it's still above the uptrend there. All right, so USO. Here's crude oil. Ooh, look at crude oil breaking out of the bull flag that it was in. Here's a rally up, flag back, and then bust out of that flag. Up for another run, USO. So oil getting it done way too fast, if you ask me. Really would have loved to see this cool off for a couple months, the way it ran up that fast. But maybe it was oversold for too long. So there you go. Oil busting out kind of high. Let me go see if I can find my dollar before we check out gold and silver. All right, let me check this out here. Pull up the dollar. Things just aren't working. I closed everything down for forgetting that I was going to do the market wrap up. And here we are. So it's coming up. All right, so in the meantime, silver. All right, silver taking it hard right now. Big engulfing candle to the downside here with a higher high and a lower low, but still moving up. If you take that move and measure it out, still up over the midpoint, but closed out at the upper 30. So maybe this move is over. We'll see what happened. Of course, it did get walloped down from this trend line right here. So that is a bigger trend line. You measure the strength of trend lines and pivots by the number of candles underneath your trend lines or above your trend lines. That's the time spent. And same with the pivots on each side of those peaks and valleys. That's how it's measured, the strength there. So you can see, got a lot more than just 5 or 6 days here underneath this trend line. So it's going to take more than just one poke to get through. And that's kind of normal. So now let's go take a look at GLD. All right, here's GLD. Getting whomped down at the trend line again, same as silver. If we kind of push a trend line right through there, you can see it ran right into it, kind of fading back here. So gold attacking this trend line up here. From the pullback, you noticed we closed over the midpoint. Good sign there. Need to work and grind away at this supply and move up over the top into the backside of this downtrend line for GLD. Now we'll get the dollar, plop it up here, open that up, push it onto the daily because that's the one I show you most of the time, and give it just a second. It'll fire up here. It's coming. There it is. All right, so here's the dollar making a higher low and rallying up to produce that higher high. So there's the dollar. So we got a 3-day weekend and we're off on Monday. No one's going to be here. And for the economic calendar on Monday, let's go see what's happening Monday. So here's Monday. Nothing happened. U.S. markets are closed. Here's Tuesday. Factory orders at 10. Kind of a light day. International trade goods and services. Well, we just got GDP at 8:30 on Wednesday. PMI, I guess that's their audit on 9:45. ISM, and that's at 10. Beige book at 2. That's about the only one that could move the market sometimes. Not normally, though. And then come jobless claims. No really big speakers. You know, Jerome Powell's not going to speak. So all in all, a light week. Where if they want to move the markets next week, that would be the week. Because they're not going to get a whole lot of market moving economic data unless somebody closes some stores and we get some big jobless claims. Other than that, I see a wide open road for the bulls if they want to do it next week. We'll see what happens. And that's it for the market wrap up. Everybody have a wonderful 3-day weekend. Thank you for being here. I'll be back at 8 o'clock Tuesday morning, and we'll do it again.